Clues intensify the search.
Large-scale effort.
The 17-year-old mother of a 2-year-old.
Cell phone records show the last person to see Paige Johnson,
22-year-old Jacob Bumpus,
was in that area
We've organized an extensive search of the park.
the night the teen was last seen.
Friends and family searching over dozens of miles.
To the guy that was last with my daughter, please talk. Please tell the truth
Police say a latex glove with a drop of possible blood was recovered in the friend's sink.
so that we can, just find out where she is, what happened to her. Please tell us, please.
We are taking your calls. Let's go back to that timeline. Ellie Jostad, I want to go back to the evening before she went missing. What do we know about Bumpus that evening?
Well, I took another look at his Facebook page to see what was going on, and he says this is all September 23rd. That's the early morning hours that Paige Johnson is last seen. At 12:21 a.m., Jacob Bumpus posts like a fish, and then he doesn't post again until 5:04 a.m. Now, he says he dropped Paige off at 1 a.m. At 5:04, he says, still up, there must be something to cure this insomnia. And then that night, the night of the 23rd, it's at about 7:05 p.m. that he says, if anybody has seen Paige Johnson, please let me know. If you've seen her, she's missing. Her friends and family really need to find her, and nobody's heard from her.
Ellie, what, if anything, do we know about his criminal history?
Well, he was actually on parole for a theft violation. It was when the police came to his house to question him about Paige Johnson. He wasn't there. They found beer cans laying all over the place. They went to his job. They heard he just quit his job. So those two things were a violation. We've also heard that he reportedly had weapons in the house, also a parole violation.
And Ellie, again, what was his story about what happened the night she goes missing? Everybody, we were talking about a 17-year-old girl. Her name, Paige Johnson. Take a look at these photos. What did he say happened that evening?
He says that he dropped her off at about 1 a.m., and that's the last time he saw her.
Dropped her off where?
He dropped her off at an intersection in Covington, Kentucky.
Why, may I ask, Jessica Knoll, is he dropping her off on a street corner at 1 a.m.?
That's a good question that police have not been able to answer. The only thing that we do know is that her sister did live a few blocks away from that, and she may have been going there at that time.
Out to Mark Class, president and founder Class Kids Foundation. That doesn't even make sense. Why not drop her off at the door if she's only a couple of more blocks away?
Well, of course it doesn't make sense, and it looks like this girl has come to some harm at the hands of this individual. He's going to clam up. He's not going to tell anything to law enforcement. He seems to be a pretty street-savvy guy. I think what has to happen here is the search and rescue people are going to have to focus on locating this girl in this 10,000-acre park. Now, this is obviously a very challenging assignment, and it's going to take search and rescue professionals from multiple agencies. And everybody should know that every sheriff in America has search and rescue professionals on their force, people who know exactly how to do this. What they're going to have to do, because this is such a large assignment, is they're going to have to figure out the resources they need. They're going to need things like divers, because there's a 1,200-acre, 100-foot deep lake there. They're going to need sonar. They're going to need boats. They're going to need planes because it's such a huge area. They're going to need search dogs, and they're going to need multiple boots on the ground. They're going to have to go over this many times in hopes of locating this girl. And if that effort fails, ultimately what might happen is a volunteer organization like Class Kids or Laura Recovery will come in and pick up where law enforcement is left off. And hopefully, at the end of the day, they'll find this girl and be able to resolve this mystery.
The tip line, 859-292-2222.